Hey guys, what's going on? Andy Elliott. Guys, in this video, we're going to talk about only one thing, how to get paid more money. Now, every single one of you right now watching this, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. We're probably going to give you overall, by the time it's done, 50 ways to make more money. Most importantly, you get what you earn. Okay? People are like, I want to make more money. You earn money. That's how money is made. It's earned. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And so you're going to talk right now about how people can get paid more money. By the way, tell everybody really quick who you are, the name of your company, so they can get an idea, and also how they can follow you on Instagram. Maybe they can hit you a direct message after this if they want to link up with you, because you're about to rip and drop heat.
So Austin Cook from the Tinstitute. You can find me at the Tinstitute on Instagram or the Tinstitute on YouTube, and I help business owners with under 25 team members build influence.
Yeah, by the way, built a great business out of California, here with his beautiful wife. He's an absolute savage. This guy sends me a video every morning of him doing push-ups, burpees, going psycho. He's amazing. But the cool thing is he knows how to build big businesses, but he's actually a firecracker. You know what I'm saying? Which I didn't know that in the beginning. So Austin, they're about to find out. Let it rip. If I was watching this right now, whether I'm a business owner, right, or I'm an employee working for a business, I'm an entrepreneur. How does someone get paid more money?
So it all starts with becoming the best version of yourself, and you attract what you are. People think about you what you think about yourself. So if you want people to think highly of you, you need to think highly of yourself. And what I found is a lot of people don't actually think highly of themselves, and they have a lot of negative talk, and that's because they don't follow through with little promises they make to themselves every day. So what am I talking about when I talk about little promises to yourself? I'm talking about the things that are in your head that you might not tell anyone. So you're walking out of the house and you say, I'm going to do my laundry when I get home, in your head, and you don't follow through. Well, you think on the surface that doesn't really have an impact, but you think a little bit less about yourself. You say, I'm going to do the dishes as soon as I'm done eating. You decide not to do it. That has a little impact on what you think about yourself. And then it becomes a compounding effect against you in the sense that you start to believe that you can't accomplish the things you want to accomplish because you can't keep promises to yourself.
Well, so you got people that don't understand that. They're going to watch this right now. They're going to be like, oh, okay, well, that's not going to help me get paid more money. Help someone understand who hasn't made a lot of money why that helps people get paid more money as we continue to keep going.
So by keeping promises to yourself, you build a strong self-image, and then people want to be around you. You build a different vibration, and that allows you to build influence. Because what I have found is a lot of small business owners, typically business owners that have less than 25 team members, they're not influential. People think that to become influential, you have to have a lot of money. You don't need to have a lot of money to become influential. You need to be able to have control over yourself. So I tell people to live hard. We've heard David Goggins say that before. What does that mean? That means living as if you have a drill sergeant by your side all day long, but without actually needing that drill sergeant. So the people I coach, I tell them to imagine having a chest cam on every day. And every day when they lay down in bed, they're going to send me that footage. Would they be proud of the footage that they're sending me each and every day?
Or what if your family? What if your family got to review it all day long? Would they be proud of you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And most importantly, are you proud of it? Because if you're proud of it, you're going to think of yourself in a different way, which tomorrow morning you're going to wake up with a different level of confidence.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about this too. We were talking about people that are cheap hires. We talked about what they cost companies versus people that get paid a lot of money. They're basically free.
Yep. Well,
right?
in small business, in small business, we all have thought before, and I'm guilty of this in my past too. I can't afford a guy at X amount, say $30 an hour. I can't afford $40 an hour. And I tell that person, well, no shit, you can't afford that because he hasn't started yet. People think, how much can they afford to pay with the money they have in their back pocket? And that's the wrong way to think about it. I tell people that the more you pay someone, the cheaper they are, meaning the better, more talented the person is, the more they pay for themselves.
Yeah, they bring value.
People
like
try
no
to
other.
hire and get a deal on a new hire for say $15, $20 an hour, and that person is extremely expensive because they can't do a project or complete something all on their own.
Yeah, and how much business do they cost you?
Right, but then
when's the last time a cheap employee made you a lot of money?
Exactly.
Yeah.
When was the last time a cheap coach made you a lot of money? So the point is,
explain what you said about Walmart and Target. We were talking about, like when people, but Walmart and Target, they can hire by the masses, right?
They have different resources, so they could.
Right, but they don't have smaller businesses. You're looking for unique people, right? People that have heart, have passion, who have specialized skill.
They're most certainly unique. And here's another thing that frustrates me about small business owners that need help. They think that the jobs that they're giving, their team should be blessed to have this opportunity. If you're in a small business with less than 25 team members, you're actually competing with a Target, a Home Depot, a Ross. And it's actually a lot easier to go work at one of those companies because you could hide out in an aisle, be on your phone. You can be in the bathroom. There's not a lot of pressure. You go to work for a small company like mine, there's a lot of pressure working right underneath the owner all day long. And owners forget that. They think they're blessing their team with this amazing opportunity when, for one, they're not influential because they don't follow through on what they say they're going to do. And for two, they're trying to be cheap and not pay a premium. But it's different in, the top 500 companies because they have more resources. So like I was talking to you at the gym, in a Target, if you do make a mistake, you're 15 minutes late, they call you into the office, they give you a write-up, they threaten your job saying if you make this same mistake 3 times, we might let you go. And that works because they can replace you. Matter of fact, they don't really need you. They can operate the store without you for a week or two while they find someone else. In a small business, our team knows, you're not going to fire me. You need me. And they also know you don't have time to hire people. Because in a small company like mine, we're so transparent. Everyone knows everything. It's less than 25 people. So that's why I teach small business owners how to build influence before having financial success. And we do that through self-discipline.
Yeah, and you guys wrote a book, right? I mean, it's not
25 leadership hacks for businesses under 25 team members.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I think that's a big one. By the way, how to get paid more money.
Yeah, exactly. So the foundation of getting paid more money is building more influence, which makes it easier to lead people. As you become more successful, yes, things do get easier because people want to know how you achieve success. Well, when we're young leaders, before we actually have achieved financial success, we can build influence by being the most disciplined, following through on our word. And all 25 leadership hacks go back to some way, shape, or form showing discipline, because discipline's one thing that everyone wants. Just like we all want money, we all want to be in control of ourselves. So one of the most powerful, and this is what I was telling you in the car, out of all 25 leadership hacks, the most powerful leadership hack that'll change any small business with less than 25 team members.
Number one?
It's it's actually, I don't know where we put it in the book, but it's handwritten.
No, but you think this is number one.
This is number one out of all 25.
You would say this is a way to connect with your employees on a whole different level.
So let me back up a step. One of the leadership hacks is removing the word employees and throwing it in the garbage and taking it out of your vocabulary and replacing it with team members. That's one.
That's huge.
So, but it sounds simple,
It's right.
Again, you have to be disciplined in removing that word and calling yourself out.
Let me know how you feel about me when you say teammate or you say employee.
Exactly. So that's one.
Or how important I am to you.
Absolutely. So that's one of the 25 leadership hacks, is removing the word employee from your vocabulary, even when talking about other businesses. If you're talking about a competitor, you call people that work for a competitor team members as well. That takes discipline to remove that word and break that habit of using that word. And by the way, I have some people in my coaching program that have gotten called out by their team members for calling them workers, my guys, helpers. These are all things I hear in small businesses that owners refer to their team members as my guys, helpers, employees. The only acceptable terminology for people that work in small businesses are team members.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so that's one leadership hack. Like you said, the number one leadership hack out of all 25, if I can only tell my son one thing before I was dying, would be handwritten specific thank you notes with every paycheck. And that's why some of these things you can only do with 25 team members. When you have 100 team members, it doesn't become scalable. But managers of their departments could do this and implement it. And here's the thing.
I'm going to do this before I play this video.
Oh, here's the thing about this.
Because I already know what it's going to be like.
The number one thing people want in a small business, the number one thing people want is appreciation. Okay? But in addition to that,
recognition.
By doing handwritten specific thank you notes, it requires us as leaders to focus on what our team is doing right rather than always focusing on where we wish they would improve. Because if we know we're writing handwritten specific thank you notes every 2 weeks, it requires us to have things to write and make it easy on ourselves, right, when paychecks come out. So we're not left, trying to think of something on the spot. So my wife and I are keeping track of things our team is doing well. And here's the thing. The smaller the thing, the better. So if I see one of my team members pick up a piece of trash, if I see team members, swap out toilet paper when it was empty, even though they weren't using the toilet that time, just for the next guy that's using it. Those are the most powerful things because we want to show our team that we notice the small things.
That's huge. Why are you so passionate about business owners, right? I'm just asking.
Because I was stuck in a cycle where it's hard to lead people before you have financial monetary success.
Okay, walk us through your story real quick. Started
real simple.
Graduated.
Walked into a tint shop at 19 years old. I was in junior college. I watched the guy tint my windows. It took him 45 minutes. It cost me $75. Asked him right then and there if he would teach me how to tint. He said, no, it takes a lot longer than you think. I left. He called me back 2 weeks later. He said, hey, you were in here a couple weeks ago. You said you wanted to learn how to tint. Do you still want to learn how to tint? I said, yeah. He said, I'll teach you how under one condition. I said, okay, what's that? He said, you got to buy the whole business. I drove down there. We talked about it, called my mom, asked her what she thought. She said, look, go down there for 2 weeks straight. If at the end of 2 weeks you're still interested, call me back. I said, wait a minute. So you're saying I can drop out of college if I get to go down there for 2 weeks straight? She said, I guess so. So I went down there for 2 weeks straight, called my mom back. I said, I'm more interested than ever. I sold my mom on letting me use my college fund to buy the business. I bought the business for $105,000.
No ways. That's crazy, bro.
And at the time, my mom structured it like I was going to pay her back, and it was a loan. I made my mom payments. I think the payments were like $2,500 a month. And then after like 6 months or so, she said, I paid for your sister to go to college. I was planning on you to go to college. You don't owe me.
That's cool. You got a good mom, bro. That's crazy, brother. And why does that make you emotional?
It makes me emotional because at the time I wanted to be here. So basically just proud of myself for being a savage.
It's good stuff. And
Like it's tears of joy
yeah,
because like just at that time I could remember like thinking sorry. I could just remember at the time thinking I want to go all the way to the top.
it's amazing.
And so like we're on our journey. Sorry. We're on our journey there, but I want to help other people like speed that up because it took me way longer than it should have.
Do you feel like that's why you started coaching? Because you want to shortcut? You want to help people have a mentor so they can have a shortcut to
Exactly.
quicker success?
Exactly. Took me 17 years and I'm nowhere finished, but like even still, if I knew everything I knew now, it could have probably been 7 years instead of 17.
All right, let's talk about that. What are some things, and I love your passion. Listen to me. This is why you're going to make it. This is why you made it. This is why you're continuing to change people's lives, because you care. We're in a society where people don't care anymore, and they're disconnected and they're numb, and you've stayed in the game. And so now you're wanting to help people achieve greatness. What are some things that you learned that you did right, that you think like
Never
really
quit.
helped you? You know, here you are later, you know, you've got this beautiful life. You can do what you want. You can buy what you want. You have a good life. What are some things that you did that you think are things that everyone needs to know?
Never quit. And for the longest time, like I was raised, if you just work hard, you'll get a break eventually. But then, like, you know, we were working really hard, not getting a break. And then, you know, this was before even starting this institute, because I didn't mention we own a brick and mortar company in San Luis Obispo, California. And then read a Russell Brunson book, .com Secrets, and read Crushing It by Gary Vee. And I remember literally slamming the book shut, going inside and telling my wife, Michaela, that I wanted to start a company with .com in it. Because with a brick and mortar company, I just felt so consolidated to San Luis Obispo County. So we started, that's when the Tinstitute was born. And it's literally been everything I wanted it to be, as far as being able to market to the whole world. We have fans all over the world.
Yeah, you have a big following. Tell me this. What was a time that you almost quit?
Never.
I know.
Never.
Never?
I would cry a lot, and I would always say, there's no place else I'd rather be.
That's amazing.
Like 2 o'clock in the morning at the shop crying out of frustration, but like in the middle of crying, I would say there's no place else I'd rather be.
So this is the side of entrepreneurship that people don't share. This right here, like this is the side people don't share. Like you see on social media, everybody like, yeah, man, I killed it, and you know, success, it rained. That's not it.
Yeah, I wish I could say that, but with all this gray in my beard, it's like I can't even try to pull that off. It took me way too long.
How long you and your wife been married?
13. Well, we've been together 13 years. Here's a crazy story real quick. So I bought the business in 2008. I met my wife in 2010. She had just graduated Cal Poly, second in her class in economics in 3 years. So she graduated a year early, second in her class in economics, got a great job at a tech company. I sold her on quitting that and coming to work for me, and it was just me and one other guy at the time. We were probably doing less than $200,000 in revenue.
Good salesman. Well, you got lucky.
But you know what? Here's the thing I want to really mention is that one thing I teach people, if you want to get your dream woman, it's a super simple formula. Do everything you say you're going to do, and if you're not going to do it, just don't say you are. And here's the thing. I tell people on the first date, you could start framing it by saying, hey, I'm going to be there at 9:45, and actually being there at 9:30. You could say, hey, I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And you can actually go to the bathroom and be right back. And so I stepped up by making promises, little promises. And then eventually it got to the point where I said, I'm going to be successful. And she's like, he's going to.
What's your favorite thing about your wife?
That she took a chance on me.
That's huge. All right, listen. How many kids you got?
2.
Okay. If someone's watching this right now, and this was how to get paid more money, right? Okay. Would you say that your passion is a big reason why you made it? Would you say that, you're proving people wrong is a big reason you made it? Would you say that people believed in you and you didn't want to let them down? I
would definitely say my passion is a huge part of it.
What's making you tick to keep running hard?
The fear of laying down on my deathbed and never getting to experience what it's like to not have to worry about money at all. And knowing that someone else can do it. And I just think if someone else can do it, then I definitely can.
That's a fact. Yeah. So what's a mistake you made that was a trap?
I started a clothing store with a friend halfway through all of this. In the 17 years, I took a detour. I never stopped my brick and mortar sign company, but we took a detour and started a clothing company. But I regret it, but I don't, because at the time
it was a life lesson, right?
It was a life lesson, but at the time the idea was to choose a scalable business model. Because the brick and mortar tint shop business model is very hard to scale. Not to say it can't be done, but the clothing business model, although it's competitive, you have the opportunity to scale.
Yeah.
So that was the goal. And then once I read Russell Brunson's book .com Secrets and crushing it, I was like, the personal brand and using the internet to sell e-com is the way to go.
That's huge, man.
So, but a big mistake, I can't think of any massive mistakes other than not hiring a mentor sooner. But we were looking for mentors at the time. They were harder to find back then before Instagram and YouTube and everything.
Yeah, me too. Growing up, man, I was a leaderless man for a long time.
I would say also, I wish I would have started listening to books sooner. Like in probably around 2016, I started picking up books.
That's huge. So when you study, when you learn, when you develop, right? When you have a mentor, tell me what happens inside of you. In order to get paid more money, tell me what's happening every time you learn from somebody. Now, you coach other people. You help build this next generation of people your age, people younger, right? I see what you do. What is going on when you learn? What do you feel? Do you feel more confident?
I feel traction, which within traction, there's satisfaction. So, like, I always feel good. I don't have anxiety as long as I know I'm working towards the next step. So even literally just by knowing I listen to a book on the way to work rather than listen to music, I feel good because I know I'm taking the little steps.
Yeah. Do you feel like something that you're always learning is being applied somewhere every day? Like you're constantly have an edge on everyone else because you just keep learning?
I will say sometimes I get anxiety by learning because I get so many ideas and then I get to work and I want to implement them, but we can't move as fast as I want to move. It's like being in traffic but being late somewhere, and it's like I want to move faster, but I can't move the traffic out of the way because at the end of the day we can only grow so fast. But
I don't think
so.
That's a bad
Sometimes
thing.
I literally stop listening to books just to slow down.
Yeah, most people get on a highway and it's busy and they want to get off the highway. You want to smash everything.
I want to go in the shoulder and pass everyone.
I love it. All right, I want to end this with one thing.
Okay.
And by the way, I appreciate you sharing your heart today. Means a lot, man. And I promise you, dude, everybody that's watching this right now, it's super important. It's rare that you find real people, right? Like real, like REAL, real people. and you're a real dude, man. And so I love this. One of the first times we first started coaching together and doing stuff, I remember I thought you were real like a quiet guy. I really did. I thought you were really quiet.
That's because I have to suppress myself so I don't bulldog you.
Yeah. Well, he sent this video. He's got his shirt off and he's going, whoa! And I'm like, who is this guy? And then I started to learn. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have these, my wife, I tell her, I'm like, I know I'm bipolar, OCD, ACD, ODD, whatever. I got it all. I got everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm like you said, I have a computer screen open at all times. There's like 50 tabs open. I want to see all 50 at once. And, it's a superpower. So if anybody ever labels you as like something, like just know that's a superpower. It's basically you're born with an off switch.
Yep.
There is no off switch. And, it's a superpower, man. It's
no,
really
just like
dangerous.
you were saying in the car this morning, it's an insult to call me normal. So anytime someone says I'm something, I go 100%.
Yeah, I was telling him in the car, we were talking about, like, if somebody's like, you're weird, you're like, thanks. Like, that means I'm not normal. Like, that is so good. 99% of the world's normal, and they don't make statues out of normal people. So I love that. Okay, so obviously, and I have ADD, so I already forgot what I was going to ask you. But we'll finish out here at the end with somebody's watching this right now. They want to change their life. They want to go to the next level, right? You mentor, you coach people, young guys. You have young guys, young gals. Your wife's involved in the coaching. She's awesome. She supports. I mean, obviously, you're the face of it right now, but you guys are building this thing together. I know people can set up a call with you to, figure out how to scale and grow. Specifically, you help people develop, but you're really niched right now and really focused on people who want to build businesses, right?
Yep. Businesses with under 25 team members.
That's right. That's your niche. That's your main thing. That startup, that thing that you said, hey, I built this company X amount of millions. It took me too long. I didn't have a mentor.
And here's why. Because I want to help people build influence before they've achieved financial success. And you can do that with discipline, and you can do that by becoming the best version of yourself.
I love that.
So you don't have to focus on the money. For so long, I was just focused on the money. And I even told my wife so many times that I feel like I'm focused so much on the money that I'm pushing it away like two magnets flipped the wrong way.
That's right.
And so instead of focusing on the money, if you focus on yourself, and what do I mean by focusing on yourself? To be specific, listen to the voice in the back of your head and do what it tells you to do on the little things. The laundry, the dishes, the toilet seat, the trash that you walk by in the middle of a parking lot. And if you do everything that voice tells you to do, you're going to feel proud of yourself. And then you're going to become the version of yourself that's going to attract money.
Well, any successful person, and every one of them that I've ever talked to, all of them said, if you don't do the little things, the big things will never last.
People think that they'll
and
be
people
that,
don't get
that
that
person once they get the money. You have to become that person before you get the money.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And so people can reach out to you on Instagram, right? And they can DM you.
Yep.
Give them your Instagram.
Instagram, The Tinstitute.
Okay, we'll put that up here.
Yep.
And then obviously you guys can reach out. You guys can shoot him a DM. You guys can connect with him. You can ask any questions. I really appreciate you sharing your heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you really grew on me just
Can't
now.
be fake.
I like that. I always say once you cry with somebody, now we're growing. You know what I'm saying?
Expose the skeletons.
Yeah. So I appreciate you, man. I'm grateful for you. I know you're going to do big things. I always like these times because we look back in like 3 years, or like we look forward in 3 years, and we're looking back and we're like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? Well, there was a time where, and I'll just share this with you real quick. We built this big company and I wanted to delete all my old videos. I went through this phase. I told my wife, I was like, I don't like who I used to be. Like I actually went back and somebody was like, dude, I was watching this old video of you. And I was like, dude, I'm deleting this. I'm like, dude, this is the worst video I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, dude, that's embarrassing. Get this off. And my wife's like, we're not deleting your past. That's not how it works. The goal is if you really want to inspire people, people have to see the journey. You know what I'm saying? And so as we're watching this right now, you built a big business. You're building your coaching game right now. I'm excited to see where, a couple years from now, where you'll be. And it's cool because we look back on these and it's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Thanks
and
for
how many
helping
people's
me.
lives you change. You bet. All right, guys, make sure you go follow them on Instagram. We appreciate you. You guys can send them a message.
Yes, sir. DM me.
Yeah, we love you guys. Have a blessed day. We'll see you in the next podcast.
Thank you.